Hi, this is the last one in this section of 15 logical fallacies. Fair use, it's educational purposes, but although that only applies to the person, I'm not a person, I'm a man. These last couple now, this one's about equivocation, ambiguity. It says, equivocation happens when a word, phrase or sentence is used deliberately to confuse, deceive or mislead by sounding like it's saying one thing but actually saying something else. It's like the word theory in science. To everyday average people, theory means an idea, not reality, stuff like that. You know what I mean? An idea, a thought in your head, an idea, theory. But in science they've changed the meaning of the word to mean something different. To mean it's true, it's real, it's everything else, right? So they've changed the meaning of the word to deliberately confuse and deceive or mislead people, because it sounds the same and it's the same word but meaning something else. It's like the word level. They've changed the meaning of that word as well in science to confuse, deceive and mislead people, right? Equivocation comes from the roots equal and voice and refers to two voices. A single word can say two different things. Another word for this is ambiguity. We could also say the word round. When they say, oh no, the earth is round. Like I've mentioned before, yeah? What do they mean by the earth is round? Because they're saying the earth is round instead of spherical, right? Instead of a sphere or an oblate spheroid or pear-shaped, as D.A.S. Tyson would say, yeah? But you have to think, right, they're using the word round. But like I said, a coin is round, but it's not a sphere. A hula hoop is round, but not a sphere. So, so yeah. So they're using these words to deliberately confuse, deceive, and mislead people. Yeah, like when they say the Earth is round. Why couldn't it be round and a level plane? It could be. I'm not saying that it is. I don't know. But I'm saying it could be. Like I said, a coin is round, but it's not a sphere, is it? It's level. Horizontal, yeah. A hula hoop is round. It's not a sphere. I can walk round a ball. Doesn't make me a sphere, does it? Or what I've just done, walking around a ball, doesn't make the way I've walked spherical, does it? So it's when it's poetic or comical, we call it a play on words. But when it's done in a political speech, ethics debate, or in an economics report, or science, for example, and it's done to make the audience think you're saying something you're not, that's when it becomes a fallacy. Sometimes this is not a fallacy per se, but just a miscommunication. The equivocation fallacy, however, has a tone of deception instead of just a simple misunderstanding. Often this deception shows up in the form of euphemisms, replacing unpleasant words with nicer terminology. For example, a euphemism might be replacing lying with the phrase creative license, or replacing my criminal background with my youthful indiscretions, or replacing fired from my job with early retirement. A romantically involved couple might discuss their relationship to others as just friends, so they appear like they have no other romantic relations. When these replacement words are used to mislead people, they become an equivocation fallacy. Your turn. Which of these examples is an equivocation fallacy? Example 1. His political party wants to spend your precious tax dollars, or tax money, on big government. But my political party is planning strategic federal investment in critical programs. Example 2. I don't understand why you're saying I broke a promise. I said I'd never speak again to my ex-girlfriend, and I didn't. I just sent her some pictures and text messages. Number 14. Appeal to pity. Argumentum ad misericordiam. Argumentum ad misericordiam is Latin for argument to compassion. Like the ad hominem fallacy above, it is a fallacy of relevance. Personal attacks and emotional appeals aren't strictly relevant to whether something is true or false. In this case, the fallacy appeals to the compassion and emotional sensitivity of others when these factors are not strictly relevant to the argument. like snowflakes. Appeals to pity often appear as emotional manipulation. For example, how can you eat that innocent little carrot? He was plucked from his home in the ground at a young age and violently skinned, chemically treated and packaged and shipped to your local grocer, and now you're going to eat him into oblivion when he did nothing to you. You really should reconsider what you put into your body. Obviously, this characterization of carrot eating is playing the emotions by personifying a baby carrot, like it's a conscious animal. So by the time the conclusion appears, it's not well supported. If you had to be logically persuaded to agree that you should reconsider what you put into your body, then it would have been better evidence to hear about unethical farming practices or unfair trading practices, such as slave labour, toxic runoffs from fields, and so on. Truth and falsity aren't emotional categories. They are factual categories. They deal in what is and is not, regardless of how one feels about the matter. It's like this question about what is the earth, where are we, what shape is the earth. It doesn't matter about your emotions or your beliefs or regardless of how you feel about it or what you believe. Yeah? Another way to say it is that this fallacy happens when we mistake feelings for facts. Our feelings aren't disciplined truth detectors unless we've trained them that way. So as a general rule, it's problematic to treat emotions as if they were, by themselves, infallible proof that something is true or false. Children may be scared of the dark for fear there are monsters under their bed, but that's hardly proof of monsters, is it? To be fair, emotions can sometimes be relevant. Often the emotional aspect is a key insight into whether something is morally repugnant or praiseworthy, or whether a governmental policy will be winsome or repulsive. People's feelings about something can be critically important data when planning a campaign, advertising a product, or rallying a group together for a charitable cause. But it becomes a fallacious appeal to pity when the emotions are used in substitution for facts or as a distraction from the facts of the matter. It's not a fallacy for jewellery and car companies to appeal to your emotions to persuade you into purchasing their product. No, to me, it's unethical, because why would you do that? Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that. To me, that is like a fallacy anyway. It is a fallacy for jewellery and car companies to appeal to your emotions to persuade you into purchasing their products, because we all know it's not good to make a decision based off of an emotion. So if you're under the influence of an emotion and you have to make a decision based under that emotion, that's not a good thing. You shouldn't be making decisions of any kind under the influence of any emotion. Yeah, because it's not good, because that's how you end up getting things wrong. Yeah? And doing harm and damage to yourself or others by making decisions under the influence of an emotion. So it's wrong. So to me that is wrong. It's a fallacy to me, it's wrong. That's an action, not a claim. So it can't be true or false. So it can't be true or false. It would, however, be a fallacy if they used emotional appeals to prove that you need this car or that this diamond bracelet will reclaim your youth, beauty and social status from the cold, clammy clutches of Father Time. Time, there you go again, it's a man-made construct. There's no such thing as time, really. It's just a man-made construct. The fact of the matter is, you probably don't need those things, and they won't rescue your fleeting youth. Which of these is a fallacious appeal to emotion and which one is not? Example 1. The government needs to hear our cry because we are scared. We are scared that this candidate will not respect us or protect us. We are scared about our future. There's no hope for people like us with these candidates in office. Well, that's wrong anyway, because why would you need to have someone else hear your cry because you're scared? You shouldn't be scared. Don't have any fear. Show no fear. Don't be scared. Yeah? As long as you cause nobody any loss or harm, and I'm going to say respect, but respect is earned. As long as you don't, what they call it, you don't hurt anybody, or anything, or steal anything from anybody, or anything like that, or damage anyone's property, or all like that, Don't be scared, don't have any fear. Yeah? And it says, we are scared that this candidate will not respect us or protect us. You don't need these governments to protect you and respect you and protect you. Yeah? You can be your own authority, stand on your own 2 feet, be your own man, be your own woman. Yeah? Be your own individual. Don't be scared about your future. It's what you make it. And to say there's no hope for people like us with these candidates in office, no, that's fear porn. More fear porn, no hope for us. Of course there's hope for everybody. These candidates stated that they would close down the education department, and that has many teachers worried about their jobs in 2017. They should close down the education department, because it's based on the Prussian education/mimicry system, using the servant utilitarian arts to keep you as a slave, basically. No, not even basically. It is. Yeah, so you tie the chains to your own fucking ankles. Yeah, that's what it's there for, to keep you enslaved. They should close it down. Yeah, or just redesign it all and not use it anymore. Give you the liberal arts. Do proper scientific investigations instead of just saying describe this, describe that, and everything else. You know what I mean? Give you a real education. The bandwagon fallacy. This is the last one on this now. And like I said, we'll go through all the questions and see which one is the fallacy and which one isn't in the next video. The bandwagon fallacy assumes something is true or right or good because other people agree with it. A couple different fallacies can be included under this label, since they are often indistinguishable in practice. The ad populum fallacy, to the populace/popularity, is when something is accepted because it's popular. The consensus gentium, consensus of the people, is when something is accepted because the relevant authorities or people all agree on it. And there's me being saying it's ad populum fallacy because everyone believes the earth is a globe. No, it'd be that one, wouldn't it? The consensus gentium, consensus of the people. It's when something is accepted because the relevant authorities or people all agree on it. Yeah? And the status appeal fallacy is when something is considered true, right or good because it has the reputation of lending status, making you look popular, important or successful. For our purposes, we'll treat all of these fallacies together as the bandwagon fallacy. According to legend, politicians would parade through the streets of their district trying to draw a crowd and gain attention so people would vote for them. And whoever supported that candidate was invited to literally jump on board the bandwagon, hence the nickname, the bandwagon fallacy. Doesn't matter who you vote for. If they want them in, they'll be in. Your vote doesn't count. This tactic is common among advertisers. If you want to be like Mike Jordan, and that's Michael Jordan, you'd better eat your Wheaties. Drink Gatorade, because that's what all the professional athletes do to stay hydrated. McDonald's has served over 99 billion, so you should let them serve you too. The form of this argument often looks like this. Many people do or think X, so you ought to do or think X too. So you don't stand out and people don't look at you differently and you just go along with the herd. Yeah? But when I said to that, do one. I don't care what people think. If I'm on the right course and I'm doing the right thing, I don't care what people think. If I know I'm right, if I'm right, I'm right, and that's it. One problem with this kind of reasoning is that the broad acceptance of some claim or action is not always a good indication that the acceptance is justified. People can be mistaken, confused, deceived, or even willfully irrational. And when people act together, sometimes they become even more foolish, i.e. mob mentality. People can be quite gullible, and this fact doesn't suddenly change when applied to large groups. I think it gets worse when you're in a large group. Your turn. Which of these is a bandwagon fallacy? Almost everyone at my school will be at the party Friday night. It must be a popular thing to do. Almost everyone at my school will be at the party Friday night. It must be the right thing to do. And there's another video there. I hope this little primer on logical fallacies helps you to navigate future disputes with friends, family and unhinged online acquaintances without descending into vitriol or childish name-calling. Or at least if it does descend into vitriol and childish name-calling, you'll be in a great position to rhetorically trounce your opponent with sound reasoning and airtight logic. Do we miss any? There you go. Do we miss any? I'll leave a link. I'm going to leave a link to this as well on this one. And then, like I said, in the next video, we'll be going through these questions on here and see which one is the fallacy and which one isn't. Yep. Okay. Thank you.